Hi all, myself I am Shedu DS, S5 Civil Department, Trinity College of Engineering. I am here to present my final phase project on design of recurved seawall for shoreline protection. My presentation includes introduction, scope and objectives, literature review, why I selected this topic, types of recurved seawall, data analysis, design parameters, design, model, work plan and reference. A seawall works by reflecting incident wave energy back into the sea, thus reducing the energy available to cause erosion. There are multiple types of seawall. A few among them are stepped seawall, marine gabions, rubble mount, vertical wall and recurved seawall. Most stepped seawalls follow the same general profile with rise at a comfortable seating height and constrained by geotechnical considerations and standards for safe step dimensions. Gabions are low-cost shoreline engineering structures consisting of individual wire cages filled with rocks and stacked on top of one another to construct shore stabilization structures. Mount type seawalls are used in less demanding settings where lower energy erosional processes operate. Vertical seawalls are built in particularly exposed situations. In some cases, piles are placed in front of the wall to lessen wave energy slightly. Recurved seawalls are designed to enable waves ripple back to the sea. The curve also prevents the wave overtopping the wall and provides additional protection for the top of the wall. As I told earlier, this project will be focused on recurved seawall. The objectives of the project involves the analysis of different types of seawalls and their pros and cons along with detailed study of recurved walls and the parameter which influences its effectiveness. Finally, using 3D Math software, I aim to implement an efficient recurved seawall. These are the journals I have referred. First one, effectiveness of recurve walls in reducing wave overtopping on seawalls and breakwaters. This paper reports a study whose aim is the formulation of generic guidance for recurve structure design. Second one, characterization of breaking wave impact on vertical wall with recurve. This study reviewed the characteristics of impact pressures due to breaking waves on a vertical seawall with a recurve. Third one, World War II seawall in St. Aubyn's Bay, Jersey infrastructure improvements to alleviate flooding. This study included the investigations into the flooding, the research into the original mass concrete wall, and design of a concrete capping beam with a recurve that allowed the top of the wall to be raised. Fourth one, understanding the effects of seawall construction using a combination of analytical modeling and remote sensing techniques. In this study, an effort has been made to understand the effects of seawall construction using a combination of numerical and analytical modeling and geoinformatics. Fifth one, design of seawall. This report details the construction of a seawall to prevent coastal erosion and destruction of property by the sea waves during high tides. Sixth one, design of seawalls allowing for wave overtopping. The report details the various parameters which are required to evaluate an existing seawall and outline some of the major parameters. As we see here, comparing the shoreline of Kovalam between 2004 and 2015, it is evident that a great extent of land has been eroded. If there was an efficient seawall protecting the shorelines, this will not have happened, since analysis of recurved seawalls are of prime importance in civil engineering field. Coastal flooding occurs when normally dry low-lying land is flooded by seawater. Engineered protection structures along the coast, such as seawalls, alter the natural process of the beach, often leading to erosion, which also increases the risk of flooding. Seawalls are hard engineering shore-based structures constructed where the sea and associated coastal processes impact directly upon the landforms of the coast. As seawall is a static feature, it will conflict with the dynamic nature of the coast and impede the exchange of sediment between land and sea. On considering vertical walls, there is a chance for overtopping, which might erode substantial soil and sand amounts, thus weakening the wall, whereas recurved seawalls prevents overtopping, reflects and absorbs wave energy. It also acts as a defense against erosion. The primary purpose of a recurve is to deflect the wave rushing up the wall to seawards, thereby reducing overtopping. It acts as a defense against erosion and flooding. These are highly durable structures which are effective for many years. Recurve walls can primarily be classified into three categories, namely large recurve wall on top of a structure, and recurve wall on top of a vertical wall. The large recurve is defined as a wall where the recurve forms the major part of the wall. Recurve on top of a structure is defined as a wall where the recurve is the minor construction, and the third type of recurve wall characterized by a recurve sited at the top of a vertical seawall. This project focuses on the use of recurve at the top of a vertical wall. The area near Kovalam has been selected for the construction of seawall because of the gradual erosion along the coast. Comparing the shoreline of Kovalam from 2004 to 2015, a great extent of land has been eroded. Since recurved seawalls protect the area from eroding, it is more efficient to construct a recurved seawall. As you see on the tide chart, this data is collected from October 1st to October 8th of this year. These are the parameters used to design a recurved seawall. This is how I designed the recurved seawall. Here, the mean value of overtopping discharge is very negligible, hence proving it more efficient to construct a recurved seawall. Finally, using 3D Smart software, I implemented an efficient recurved seawall. Work plan. Reference. And that's all about my topic. Thank you.